Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel. Today's episode is an interesting one. If we had to take one player from every Premier League club at Manchester City, if we could sign one player from every Premier League club, who would you sign? You guys let us know in the comments down below. I'm going to go through mine, the reasons why, and I think it's very interesting on some of the players I picked. I had a look and there's only one team that I couldn't actually pick a player from, or two maybe, that I was a bit, I didn't really want them. The rest, I actually thought, you know what, I'd take that player in a heartbeat. So the first one is Arsenal, the first club. We'll go in alphabetical order. And for Arsenal, I would take, there's a few options, Bukayo Saka, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Gabriel, Ben White, so on. But I've gone with Gabriel Martinelli. I think he's going to be one of the best players in the Premier League in the future. When you watch him play, he's ridiculous. I saw him nutmeg Jordan Henderson in a game against Liverpool, take on Trent Alexander-Arnold and just burn him all game. Gabriel Martinelli is absolutely fantastic, and I think Arsenal are going to struggle to hang on to him, because I do believe a side like Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG, Bayern Munich will be looking at this player and trying to pick him up. And if Manchester City had the chance to sign one player from Arsenal, Gabriel Martinelli would be my first pick in a heartbeat. What a incredible young player, and to pick him up from the 4th division in Brazil, that is some scouting network they have going on at Arsenal. In second is Aston Villa. And from Aston Villa, I think City needs someone to take on the reins from Fernandinho, and who better than a player who knows Manchester City very well, who's played for Manchester City already, and that is Douglas Luiz. He knows the rules so well at Manchester City. I think he would be the perfect Fernandinho replacement. We had a 30 million buyback clause in his contract, which I think has run out now, but I think he could come in and do that Fernandinho role perfectly. Got so much legs, so much energy is what I mean, in the midfield, that he would complement Rodri brilliantly in that position, and will be a good option in games where, teams have good runners from midfield. We need someone who can run around and not have Rodri sort of plodding around. I think Douglas Luiz will be really good for that position. On to number 3, that is Brentford, and I've gone with Bryan Mbeumo. Now, Brentford had a few players that I wasn't so sure on, and they're one of 3 teams I sort of struggled to pick a player, but I went with Bryan Mbeumo. Every time I see him, he's electric. Yes, he's not got the best finishing product. He's not a good shooter. He's not a good passer, really. But imagine him coming on from Manchester City and, running at teams on the counter. I think with better players around him, we could see Bryan Mbeumo really come and light. And I think someone might try and pick him up from Brighton. Maybe I think he'd suit a side like Crystal Palace. Electric on the counter. And he's the player I'd pick from Brentford if we had to pick one. On to Brighton. This was a no-brainer for me. Marc Cucurella. The Spaniard, who is a sort of left wing back, left back. City need a left back. City really do need a left back, don't they, really? At some point, Marc Cucurella has been linked with City when he first left Barcelona's youth team, moved to Getafe, then was signed by Brighton. I think he'd suit Manchester City perfectly. Very technically gifted fullback. Good going forward. Would need a bit of help defensively, but he would definitely be the player I picked from Brighton. On to Burnley, and the player from Burnley I'd pick was Wout Weghorst. Burnley had a few players I wasn't so sure on. I thought, Weghorst, why not? Imagine City being, at 0-0 in the 92nd minute or 90th minute and needing a goal, and City, whipping these aimless crosses into the box like we do to very small players, De Bruyne, Cancelo, so much quality putting crosses in, but the likes of Foden and Bernardo Silva in the box. We need someone who's big and strong. Imagine Wout Weghorst. He'd probably get so many goals off the bench of Manchester City and be an absolute super sub with the Burnley striker. On to Chelsea. Chelsea have got so many good players, but the man I thought was the best option would be a player linked with Manchester City also as a Kyle Walker replacement. And who better to replace Kyle Walker than Reece James? And Reece James has that pace and physicality and defensive quality that Kyle Walker has. Brilliant. Replaces Walker. But also, he's got it going forward as well. Something Kyle Walker doesn't have. He's got that technical ability going forward. Can score a goal, can take a player on, can put an amazing cross in. He's just like Kyle Walker and Cancelo possibly combined, and he'd be the perfect player for Manchester City. I don't think it'll ever happen. I don't think Chelsea will ever let Reece James go. But if you could sign Reece James from Chelsea, what a signing that would be. On to Crystal Palace, and there's one player I thought would be the best option. That is Michael Olise. What a Riyad Mahrez replacement. Honestly, he looks so good, Michael Olise. Skillful, quick, left foot, predominantly left-footed like Riyad Mahrez, and he would be an amazing signing for Manchester City. We'd have to sign him up, wouldn't we? And I think City might target in the future anyway. But they signed him for 8 million from Reading. He's probably going to cost around 50, 60 million, isn't he, Olise? So great bit of scouting work there from Crystal Palace. On to Everton, and we're going to go with a striker. City desperately need a striker. What about Dominic Calvert-Lewin? He impresses me a lot. He's had an injury hit season, which has cost him a lot of time, but big force, you know, up front, big striker, good hold-up play, but also I think he's relatively good with his feet. And I think he actually would fit Manchester City very well. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him move to a side like Arsenal in the summer, especially if Everton were to be relegated. On to Leeds United, and we've gone with Rafinha. If anyone was asked the question, you could sign player from one side, well, one player from Leeds, who would you sign? Everyone would say Rafinha. Maybe lacks a bit of end product, but what a skillful player. Could be on his way to Bayern Munich, Barcelona, someone this summer. I can't see Leeds keeping on a hold of him. What a player. And again, what a Mahrez replacement he would be. On to Leicester City, and we've gone with Wesley Fofana. Such a shame he's been injured with that broken leg at the start of the season. That really cost him. But I thought if he hadn't got that injury, we could see someone paying, you know, by the end of this season, 80, 90 million for the centre-back. You know, better than Harry Maguire, a million miles better than Harry Maguire. Big clubs must be interested in him, and apparently Real Madrid are the ones keeping tabs on him. I would love to see him at Manchester City in the future, alongside Ruben Diaz. On to Liverpool. There's only one man you can ever sign from Liverpool, isn't there, really? And that is Mo Salah. Imagine him as striker for Manchester City. We have problems scoring goals. Mo Salah would score bags and bags of goals for Manchester City. And he is, if not Kevin De Bruyne, the best player in the Premier League. On to Manchester United. I had to take one. I wasn't sure who to take, but I thought David De Gea. He can sit on the bench and play the cup games for Manchester City. He's terrible with his feet, and he'd cost us if he played first-team football. But imagine him off the bench, how many chances he would save for Manchester City. And I think he'd probably win the FA Cup and Carabao Cup as a Manchester City player. And he's not that bad, really. He went through a bad patch of form, didn't he? But I think he's a very good shot stopper. On to Newcastle United. And Newcastle United, I have gone with Bruno Guimaraes. New signing, would replace Fernandinho, box-to-box midfielder, great passer, incredible player. We've got the side that I struggled to pick a player from, which was Norwich, but I've gone with young Greek winger Trellis, probably a CFG signing. We'd sign him and then loan him out, and he'd never really play for us, but if I had to take a player from Norwich, I'd take him. Mohamed Salisu, shrewd bit of business from Southampton to sign him from Real Valladolid. He's really, really good. Left-footed, so it suits Manchester City. Perhaps an upgrade on Nathan Ake for the future. Strong and quick, as you expect from a centre-back of his stature and ability, but also very, very technical. Can pick a pass. Good leader as well. Reads the game well. Top player. Would take at Manchester City, definitely. Spurs, I went for Harry Kane. No questions asked this day. We need a striker. Harry Kane bangs goals in. Could have been playing for Manchester City this season. Probably a shame he hasn't done. Personally, I didn't like him. I wouldn't want Harry Kane, but City need the goals, and Harry Kane would have brought that. Watford, I've gone with this man, Cucho Hernandez. Bit of an odd one possibly, but every time I see him, I'm very impressed. Scored that worldie, didn't he, early on in the season? And he scored against Manchester City. He's got a low centre of gravity, he's quick, and I think in a better team, with better players around him, you could see him score quite a lot of goals up front for Manchester City. He'd obviously probably never get signed by us, but he's the player from Watford that I definitely would take. As for West Ham, Gerard Bowen, similarly to Rafinha, similarly to Michael Olise, imagine him playing as sort of our British answer to Riyad Mahrez on that right-hand side. I think he'd be brilliant on that left foot. Scores lots of goals, doesn't he, Gerard Bowen? And he was a very shrewd bit of business from Hull City for West Ham United. Have been fantastic against this season. And then finally it is Wolves, and the Wolves player I've gone with, could have gone with Pedro Neto, could have gone with Ait Nuri sitting in the left back, but I've gone with Ruben Neves. The next Xabi Alonso, I think he would suit Manchester City midfield perfectly in that style to Rodri, but I think he could just dictate the play better than Rodri. I think his passing range is a lot better than Rodri, and he would suit Manchester City brilliantly. So they're the players I have gone with. If I could sign one player from every Premier League club, you guys let us know in the comment section down below who is the one player you would sign from every Premier League club. And we'll see you guys next time. Please do like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, join our We Are City membership club so you see all these videos early. You know that now, guys. Join our club. Fantastic exclusive content, honestly. We'll see you guys next time.